Hello, my name is Sarah Jane Heke, and I'm delighted to be interviewing for the position of library technician at Marquis Elementary School. As requested, I'll read out the question and I'll follow up with my response. Why are you interested in working at a school library? I've been working in school libraries now for 10 years, initially in a high school and latterly in an elementary school. I have found, having come from the project management background, a real joy in implementing some of those skills which enabled me to create spaces that students gravitated to and be able to support them on their academic journey. I've really felt a lot of satisfaction and reward from being able to create as much opportunity for their success. And I feel the library, when we do tap into those types of things that students are interested in, we have a real opportunity to amplify their success over and above what they are able to achieve in the classroom. What is your experience working in an elementary school? The last 2 years I've been working in an elementary school, and I have really enjoyed the additional type of role that comes with this age group. On top of the book exchange, which is always a very exciting part of it, I really enjoy the library programming. And it's taken some creativity to curate activities and resources that are going to be exciting and fun for students. But we also make sure that we connect with important aspects of the library, such as learning about the Dewey Decimal System, why it's important for books to be shelved in the right place, how they have their own address, just as we do have street address, they have a shelf address. We like to do research activities where students will pull 3 facts out of a book and sell it to one of their classmates. We like to do book buffets where students circulate around the tables that have a selection of books on, and maybe they can come up with some of their favorites. So we do numerous different activities, but the book exchange is always the most fun. And I really enjoy making sure that we connect with the students to build a collection that excites them, motivates them, and keeps them coming back. Out of the options available, I've chosen, how would you handle a parent who challenges a book? Well, in my experience, it's important to make sure that the parent feels that you are receptive to their concern. So whether or not I agree with it, I want to make sure that they feel that their concern is valid and is being validated. I'll ask them to write it, put it in writing, so that anything that I am then forwarding on to my principal in the division is in their own words and isn't my interpretation of their concern. Thusly, I will immediately bring the principal in so that they're fully aware of the concern within our community, and we will escalate that to the Director of Library Services at our school division. Historically, the process that they follow then is that the director will review the material, and they may very well feel that it's pertinent to strike a committee, but either way, we will await their feedback at the division level, and they will let us know whether they decide to remove the book from the shelf, whether to reclassify it for a different age group or demographic, or whether just to leave it on the shelf. And we will have the necessary feedback to bring the parent in and make sure that they feel that regardless of the outcome, that we have heard their concern, and that we can maybe make adaptations, even if it is that the book stays on the shelf, that they know that there is some validity and that we've heard them. Tell me about a poster or display you designed to promote the library facility. Recently, I've done a couple of notice boards that have had a huge impact. The first was based on a very successful Netflix TV show, Demon Hunters, and the students were ecstatic when they came back from school holidays and saw their favorite characters all over the library display board. So we took the opportunity to promote books from our newest part of our collections so that attracted their attention as well. So we really found that that was effective. They came in, they wanted to know if we had books on K-pop, on Demon Hunters, on some of their other favorite K-pop bands, or some of the books that we had the front covers of displayed on the notice board. So it was very impactful. The second board was regarding genres, book genres. And this was something that maybe some of the students didn't really know that much about. They may not have necessarily been familiar that some of the different parts of the collection actually had genre designations. So using a Scrabble board format, we laid out the different patterns with the names of the genres: historical fiction, fiction, graphic novels, picture books, fantasy, you name it. And so then that gave them the confidence to come on in and ask if they had any books that were fantasy, or did we have any nonfiction books about Italian recipes. So it was very effective in just building the familiarity with the library, familiarity with books, and just how it all functions. Name 3 of your favorite children's authors and explain why you like them. Well, David Robertson is one of my favorite. And as a Winnipegger, he is a local Indigenous author, and he writes for every age group. He writes fabulous, beautiful picture books, graphic novels for teens, adults, and middle years alike, and also chapter books and novels, and often all circumventing around Indigenous characters that may have been drawn from folklore or storytelling, but always have adventurous storylines and really, really magnetic characters. Another author that I love is also an illustrator, Oliver Jeffers. He's a multi-award-winning author or illustrator, and that is how he started out. But latterly, he's been writing his own books. And again, he writes about wonderful characters that he has several book series, so we can track the different adventures of these characters, and his artwork is stunning. So he really creates opportunity for adults and children alike to connect over stories of kindness, friendship, and adventure. And then finally, Roald Dahl. Like many others, I was connecting with Roald Dahl as a child, and so were my peers. And I find that even today, that is the same can be said. He has, again, wonderful character development, incredible humor, and outlandish storylines. So every kind of reader gravitates to his stories. They're not complicated to read. They're not long. So they really are great stories for the intermediate reader who might be coming from graphic novels. They're looking to transition into chapter books. And these Roald Dahl books are a great middle ground and have been successful as much in my experience today as they were decades ago. What ideas do you have to motivate reluctant readers? Well, I think these days it's no secret. Graphic novels are where it's at. The graphic novels these days are not just comics. They are not lightweight material. You have some wonderful characters like Dogman and Cat Kid and the Babysitter's Club that are the types of books that bring kids in. But as their commitment to reading and their connection with storylines gets deeper and deeper, they look for more complicated storylines in their graphic novels. And before long, they're transitioning into novels themselves. So I have had enormous success with graphic novels, not just fiction, non-fiction, science, historical background stories about the Titanic, you name it. Graphic novels just meet the bill every time. How would you promote the library to staff and students? Well, my biggest success has been promoting the library through the use of bookmarks. I make tons of bookmarks. I use QR codes, I use book covers, all sorts of different ways of promoting the library and the books on these bookmarks. They get given out as rewards, they get given out at book exchange, they're attached to book displays or notice boards, so students can take them whenever they like. They go home to promote the digital resources that our division invests in, and also they're great for staff who can quickly grab a few of them. They're quickly on hand, so they can click on a QR code, they can get them up and running in their classroom, and they're not expensive to publish. So we can send them to the printers and have hundreds made at a time and have them quickly moving around the school. So they have been very, very effective promotional tools, along with coloring sheets and other things. I really enjoy the creativity that using these types of tools has, and they're very successful for us. How would you make the library your own? Well, I do enjoy interior design. So this is an element of the library that I really gravitate to. In all of the libraries that I've run, what I've found is creating about 3 different spaces has been very successful. So I like to create a sort of sharing circle, circumventing around a carpet and chairs where people can meet and discuss or chat about things. We can have story time. We may sit and gather together to look at digital resources, or students may sit together and read. I then also have a layout of tables and chairs where we undertake activities. There may be some classes that come down, some book clubs, meetings, other sorts of just generally sitting and gathering and sharing a book together amongst a few students. And finally, I have book nooks. And these, like many book nooks, are made up of armchairs that kids just come in, curl up with a good book, and just enjoy the comfort of reading in a nice comfy chair. What do you consider one of the biggest issues academic libraries are facing today? Well, I think one of the biggest issues that's facing all libraries, whether they're public libraries or academic libraries, is relevancy. There's a perception that as resources become more available online, that artificial intelligence is rolling out more prolifically, that what's the need? What's the point? Everything is available on your computer. But libraries and librarians offer much more than that. They curate collections. They invest their knowledge in making sure that the resources and the materials available are what is needed for that demographic, for their patrons. In curating these collections, they're also helping the students know what are the valid sources that they should be looking for, teaching them how to validate sources, teaching them how to extract information effectively and know what they're looking for. Also, it builds community. We have a lot of lonely lives sitting on computers. We do so much on computers. Some people even work remotely. So coming into a library setting and learning together, studying together, exchanging ideas, and just building community. I think that that is where libraries will continue to have so much validity, whether they be in the community or within their academic settings. Well, that's the conclusion of our interview, and I'd like to thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to the opportunity of discussing my relevancy for the role, and hopefully you feel that my experience will lend itself well. Thank you very much for your time.